Y'all, I'm sorry. This is so ridiculous. I I have done a lot of boneheaded things in my lifetime. I can't with myself, okay? I just can't with myself right now. Um okay. So I have 3 news articles pulled up and I thought, "You know what? I'm still going to go live tomorrow, but I'm going to shoot videos on these 3 articles and just for anybody who's interested, not necessarily our chat." So I set up everything and I am doing what I always do. And I hit the record, not the go live. It was, anyway. So I'm sitting here. Sorry for yelling at my cat. I mean, she decided once again to get right in front of the monitor and yowl. And she was driving me nuts. Oh, yeah, she heard me. She knows I'm talking about her. I heard her. No. Anyway, uh, so I'm doing this article and I'm about to wrap it up because it's a short video. Oh, she's starting now. Come on. Come on. And I look up and I see that there are 18 people watching. I'm like, what? What? Oh my God. No, no. Oh my God. And so I just I panicked. I panicked and I turned it off. I'm like, what did I do? And I had to go back and I'm like, what did I do? Did I, you know, I'm like, okay. Yeah, I mean, in between when I'm shooting a video and I'm not on live, I take time to stop, adjust lights, stare off into space while I think what I'm going to say next. And like now, all these things I edit out when I just do a straight video. And so I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, did I, belch? Did I, what did I do when I thought I could edit? What was I doing? Did I scratch? What? I don't know. So if you were in, if you saw that last, and I made it private, which is kind of sad because I kind of liked the way it was going. So maybe I will, maybe I'll edit it because I know that the quality of the camera is better when I throw it through the editor because it clears up all the noise, all the fuzz. I hope that maybe Santa will bring me a better camera for Christmas. Anyway, hello, Fregaria. Brandon Rhodes can count. Yay. Uh, Carol Stanhope. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, artist. Good to see ya. Let's see. Melanie Lynn. Hello, hello. And Samantha Springman. Hello. Yeah, I don't know. So I have. What do y'all want to talk about? Somebody put it in the comments. Like I said, I have 3 articles here that I was going to go off about. The one that I was doing that was live about the meteorite, it was just kind of a fun story because it is the anniversary and it is one of the things that in Alabama, it's kind of a big thing. And we've had a couple of meteor storms, not just that one incident, but so much so over the years that on our license tags, oh, it's been a few years ago now, but you could opt for a version that said stars fell on Alabama because it was a big deal. They wrote songs about it. I mean, what you gonna do? It's Alabama. It's rural. So, you have a meteor storm, meteorite falls on you. It's a big deal. Um, okay. Oh, wait, let's see here. Let me go back here. Well, sorry, I'm click happy. Okay, Trump declared he'll ban MSM from the White House and only allow podcasters to cover press conferences. My, how the tables have turned. I heard that rumor. I did. I heard that rumor. I don't know if that's true or not. How cool is that? How cool is that? Nobody wants me to give my opinion, though, I can assure you, Carol. Because I'm probably not going to hold back. Um, Oh, good. I'm glad your phone issues are over. Yeah, Boost doesn't pick up good here. I actually, um, I dumped Verizon about, which works well in the area, but I dumped them back in 2018, 19, something like that. And I went with Spectrum. And I have been very happy ever since. Um, yeah, so put in the comments what you want to talk about. I do have here are the things, okay? Besides Delphi, because we can always go through X, we can find some more stuff. I was going to talk about Delphi probably in the morning as well. I was reading over some things that people have sent me and deciding whether it is safe to talk about them or not. So yeah, there's that. Um, and my other topics, besides the meteorite, I have an article where Biden, who said he was not going to pardon Hunter, actually did. Who's shocked? Who's shocked? And then I have a whole thing about TD Jakes and another accusation. And also, he had a medical crisis on stage. I think it was last week. Uh, and I was going to talk a little bit about that. So, you tell me what you want to talk about. Because after I thought I was recording and went live, I was like, well, now everybody's going to wonder what the heck was she doing? I don't know. I don't know. So, clearly, I don't know. So, I mean, we can. Brandon, you have there is a psychological, diagnosis for this, but you seem to be very, very concerned about your GI system. And I guess that's a problem for you because you keep mentioning it. And I would think that maybe you need to see a specialist, okay? Um, I don't know what to say except bless your heart. Bless your heart, Brandon Rhodes. Um, Melanie Lynn, was Walmart really boycotted in states on Black Friday? I heard rumors about that. I did all of my shopping online, um, mostly because I had to work and I worked Thanksgiving night and I got home about midnight. And so I was just too lazy to get up and fight the crowds. So I don't know. Hello, Dark Arts. How are you? Good to see ya. Good to see all of you. Um, yeah. So you tell me. Do you want to talk Delphi or do you? Yes, that boy needs Jesus. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Um, y'all want to talk Delphi or you want to talk about some of these other things? I am all. I'm not as upset about the Biden thing. It was just I was just gonna talk about it. Um, I'm really upset about the TD Jake stuff. New allegations, and then you have his health thing, and I'm all spicy about that. Um, so let me know. Nobody's saying anything. I'm gonna take a drink of my cheap water. Anyway, I do have some stuff on Delphi, but I don't have it in a presentation form. I've got some probably articles and stuff. What's the spicy thing? All right, let's talk about this. Oh, wait, let's go back to sharing it. All right, let me make sure you can see it. Nope, you can't because I had this completely done for my for my meteorite article that I didn't know I was going live about. Was it crazy? Y'all tell me, was I just too insane on that one? Like, I was literally like a deer in headlights. Oh my God, I'm live. I don't have an intro. I don't have anything. And I don't even know what I'm like. I don't even know what I've said or done. live. Artist says, did you see True Crime Design's latest video? No, I did not. I don't think I did. I don't. I'm trying to see. I looked up stuff, all of her stuff, sometime in the past week, trying to make sure I was caught up on everything. Um, so I don't know. Hey, Daniel Barry, sup? Sup? Good to see you. Um, yeah, here's what I'm all upset about. So I guess this is going to be late night coffee talk. Well, it's not really late, but it feels like it because it gets dark here about 5. So it feels like it's about 9 o'clock. Oh, it is almost 9 o'clock. Okay, whatever. I'm having a moment. Carol says I'm all Delphi'd out. Okay. I probably will talk some about that tomorrow. Hello, Cyber Warrior. I don't know if you follow TD Jakes. Now, here's the thing. I have listened over the years to some of his sermons. I have never been like a real follower of TD Jakes. I don't know. I don't know. I'll tell you this. I'm not much of a TV preacher person, and I haven't been in a very long time. So there's that. But if you don't know, okay, here's the thing. My question is this. Because, my mama always told me, where there's smoke, there's fire. Hello, Ninja Warrior Assassin. Yes. Let's see. Yes, he is a preacher. He's been around for a long, long time. All right, wait. What are we talking about here? She talking about TCD. She released one in the last 2 days. Links Flora to Shane Evans and City Council. I have not seen that one. I have not. Although I will tell you, this is weird. I got a notification or something about EOA having a new video, but when I looked, I couldn't find it. So I don't know what's going on there. Oh my goodness, Samantha. We had no phone. Oh, you know what happened here yesterday? It was during. Okay, if you're an Alabama fan, if you're a college football fan, and let me tell you something. If you're from Alabama, most of us have like kind of pro teams that we follow. We're not into pro football. We are into college football. And yesterday was the biggest day of the year. It was the Iron Bowl. And it's right in the middle of the Alabama Auburn game, and the power goes out. Okay, it's freezing cold. The power goes out, and I am sitting in the dark. Like, my phone is on 50%. So I'm thinking, I don't know what happened. Is this a cyber attack? Are we going to be without supplies for days? So I immediately jump up and run to the closet. Let me tell you something. My house, it is so dark when there are no lights, which makes no sense, but it is like darker than dark. So I have one little candle that I keep in my bedroom for emergencies. And I have this little candle, and it doesn't put out a whole lot of light. And I'm like just navigating, trying to get to the supply closet to get the big candles out and stuff. And I thought, oh my God, are we going to be here? Like, is this the apocalypse? Oh, there were so many mad people, and because it was a very wide power outage, and I did get on Facebook long enough to figure out what was happening, and the local businesses that still had power were like, "Hey, come on over here and watch the Iron Bowl." So, yeah, roll tide, Carol, roll tide. But yeah. Okay, so let's get back to TD Jakes. So here's the thing. TD Jakes has been a minister for years and years and years. And where is he? I cannot remember where his church is. But anyway, he's been very popular, lots of books, lots of stuff. Now, the interesting thing about TD Jakes is that he is friends with Sean Combs. All right. He has been seen a lot in P. Diddy's company. It has been reported that he has been to P. Diddy's white parties. And y'all know that's all over the place, all that kind of stuff. And I am extremely excited that it is coming out, okay? The whole Sean Combs thing, okay? Now, a few months ago when I was on a tear and ranting and raving about stuff, just the fact that he had been mentioned, okay? He's been mentioned in uh as being friends with Sean Combs, blah blah blah. And so he gets up in his one of his messages and his televised sermons. And I've got this clip somewhere on my computer, but he's basically saying, so what? He's like, I didn't do it. I didn't. But basically, even if I did do it, all I have to do is sincerely repent, and the blood covers everything. I mean, he's not wrong, but he's not right either. Okay? You can't just, you know, look, what the heck? What the heck? And coming out of his mouth, I was again, I think I was covering like church scandals in general. So yeah. Um Samantha, uh-oh. Old TD was praying over those thousands of baby oil bottles, allegedly. Oh my God. So yeah, here's the thing. And the more I watch about TD Jakes, the more I am like, look, again, where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay. So you have more and more information, more and more time spent, more and more pictures and people saying, okay, I think Jaguar Wright also said that TD Jakes did partake in these white parties, which, if you don't know about the white parties, I think a lot of parties, but the white parties were the worst. And there were underage males and females, some of them very young, that were allegedly, because he's not been convicted, but allegedly the young children were party favors. Okay. Completely disgusting. And, let's see. Let's look at the list so far. Who has been named? You have, what's her name? Is it Allie Carter? The other one that's talking, and Jaguar Wright, of course. Uh, what's his name, y'all? He did that big interview. Cat just did that big interview at the beginning of the year saying, hey, this is all going to come out in 2024. How did he know? How did Cat Williams know? Anyway, yeah, if you haven't seen that interview, it's like 2 hours long, and I cannot remember who he's with. I fell asleep watching it again the other night, and he is scathing on the industry. You're like, oh my goodness. Like, you wonder how he has managed to stay alive. Well, that's because you don't live in Carroll County. Anyway, so yeah, it's terrible. Samantha says black magic rituals at the white parties too. Yes, Cat Williams exposed it all for years. Yes, he did. Uh, because but something about 2024, Cat was just on a roll. Man, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen that interview, had I known I was going to talk about this, I would have a link for you. But you'll find it on YouTube, and it is insane what he says. Anyway, you have Jaguar, you have Cat, you have Allie. They are all talking about things that happen at the Diddy parties. And apparently, this is what happens when you go. Okay, first of all, if you were going to a white party, you probably had a good idea that substances of all kinds were going to be flowing and there would be entertainment. Now, whether you knew the ages of the entertainment, I don't know. But you would go in and apparently they would just hand you a drink. And then some people said they really did not know what happened for days. And so the thing is, hello, Mario. You're so funny. You're so funny. Meter maid. It's the weather. No, I can't go out when it's cold. No cold snow, Indiana. No. Um. Anyway, let's see. Melanie says I saw a video from Magical Mystery Church that showed a pastor describe humbling yourself to repentance is like a carnal experience. I think some people have forgotten how to ask for forgiveness. That is crazy. Crazy. Yeah, so anyway, over the past few months, it has looked worse and worse as TD Jakes his name keeps being brought up. They have brought up allegedly. Let's see. Well, they brought up Leonardo DiCaprio, who was always like his co-host. Leonardo has since fled, since Trump says he's going to make public the Diddy list and the Epstein list. Since Trump won and that announcement was made, Leonardo DiCaprio has moved out of the country to Italy. And here's the thing, remember when Trump, and I don't even care what kind of side of politics you're on. This is, whatever. But last time Trump was elected, you had all of these celebrities saying, if Trump wins, I'm going to leave the country, blah, blah, blah. But nobody actually did, okay? Nobody actually left. And so, of course, you had some of those rumblings this time too. But the interesting thing is the people who have left the country were also on Diddy's list. Now, if they are, he's in jail. And they are throwing, my understanding from everything I'm seeing, they're throwing the book at him. And, let's see, Leonardo left, then Ellen DeGeneres, who was very close with P. Diddy, she and Portia de Rossi moved to England, to the UK. Somebody else moved out of the country. Who was it, y'all? If you know, oh, you hid Dark Arts by mistake. Yeah, I want to Dark Arts. If you're still here, let me see if I can undo that. And if I can't, hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can get to there. Look, I have done that before. And it's because it scrolls up. So let's see if this is the right place. Let's see. Let me take her off. Boy. Interesting. Look at all the people that have been banned from here. Wow, I didn't know this was such a lot. Sorry, this is such a long list. Okay, there we go. All right, I undid it. And look, Dark Arts, sorry about that. It is it scrolls up. The comments you go to put somebody in a temporary ban or a timeout or whatever, and like it scrolls up and you hit the wrong person. So I don't know, Brandon, what is your fascination with Evil CJ? I think, you know what? I think you have a crush. think you got a crush on CJ. His name just can't stay out of your mouth. It's hilarious. But anyway, yeah. So these are the people who have left. Now, also on the list, so uh yeah, it happens. Look, I banned somebody that was actually never meant to be banned, and I did that because I had a troll. Same thing, and I did it, and I couldn't undo it. I had to figure out after the live, I think, how to undo it. But anyway, we're gonna get into this article. I promise. Let's name some of the names that Cat and Jaguar and Allie Carter have been naming. You have huge people like Jay Z, Beyonce. You have J Lo. Let's see. Steve Harvey has been named. Who else? There's like a long list. Now this is allegedly because we haven't seen the list, but these people are going. They're just these people are all saying the same thing. Yes, L.A. I do have that article pulled up. Hunter Biden was pardoned. Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to do a video about when I made that that complete goof. Didn't mean to go live tonight. I am not prepared. Like, you know, I'm not. I wasn't. Really prepared. Do I have lipstick on? I don't even know. I was just doing a video that I could edit. So we'll talk if you want to talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Hunter Biden doesn't bother me as much. Okay, he does a lot. Don't get me wrong, but this news is not shocking to me. The Hunter Biden news. This one is, and I'm not going to see you for a few seconds. Oh, was Kevin Hart? Oh, I think you're right. I think I did see that. Kevin Hart was also. Man, there's a whole lot of people. I'm telling you, there is a whole lot of celebrities. And apparently, if you didn't know, Diddy had the same kind of thing that Epstein did. Is, people would come into his parties and there were cameras everywhere. They would be intoxicated, drugged, whatever. Some maybe not, but most of them I think were. And so he has all of this blackmail on all of these celebrities doing things with people, and perhaps with children that now he has you under his control, same as Epstein. Okay. So yeah, they're running. So now whenever I see something about a celebrity, oh, Oprah has been named like a lot of times by I think every single one of them. Oprah was named. So here you go. But yeah, let me look. So I'm not going to see you for just a second. All right. But TD Jakes, it gets worse, y'all. It gets so much worse. All right. Now, if you remember, let me go back to where I can see you again for just a second. Last Sunday, TD is up in the pulpit, and apparently he doesn't preach every Sunday because he's like kind of giving it to his kids or whatever. He's getting older, and he is. And I watched maybe somebody had it online, and I maybe 3 or 4 minutes prior to the incident. So I'm watching him for signs because they say this is immediately they said he had a stroke while on stage. Now, I was not, I was torn because I didn't want to immediately say, I'm not sure about that, if that's a stroke or not. I mean, understand when I worked at the jail, I saw a lot of fake everythings. But there were some things like prior to his stroke, there are some things that if you were talking live, there should have been a bit of confusion, maybe a word that was either pronounced or the wrong word used. There should have been something. But he pretty much gets done. He tells the congregation, I love you, blah, blah, blah. I love doing this. He he says a little tiny prayer, and then he stops talking, and his right arm just starts shaking. You can go watch this. It's all over YouTube. His right arm starts shaking a little bit, and he kind of just puts his head into his chest, and he doesn't say another word. Now, I have to go back and look at it. I did not hear him drop his microphone. But all of a sudden, you can only see his arm shaking for a few seconds, and then like all these people, the elders, whatever, that are up on stage with him, they go rush him, and then you can't see him anymore. You can't tell what he's doing. So it comes out, they call the EMS, and they transport him to the hospital, and the first reports are that y'all pray for Bishop Jakes because he has had a stroke. So that's what I thought. I thought he had a stroke. I have not been really following it. Let's see. Hey, Kelt, good to see you. Let me just catch up with you for a second because I'm not going to be able to see you when I start reading this. Okay. Now, it gets worse, though. Because in this article, okay, I just assumed, again, I don't follow this case. I don't follow TD Jakes. I am following P Diddy. Not really doing a whole lot on here with it. If y'all want to talk about it, we certainly can. I watch stuff on what's coming out all the time. Okay, but this article says that Bishop T.D. Jakes, who had a medical incident at his Dallas megachurch on Sunday, filed a defamation lawsuit Monday against a fellow minister who has accused Jakes of attempted SA. Yes. Now, this guy, let me just go ahead and tell you, this guy right here on the right, to the left, this is Bishop Jakes. On the right is Duane Youngblood. Now, this guy, he's no prince, okay? He had his own problems, and he served time for SA also. But this is what he says, and I actually saw this interview with him. Duane Youngblood, 57, a Pennsylvania man who Jakes' suit notes, I hate the way that's worded, is on parole after felony convictions for SA and corruption of minors, made the allegations in two recent appearances on the Larry Reid live YouTube talk show, The Abused Became the Abuser. Now, this is what he's claiming, basically. And Jake's, legal team is saying, this is not true. And but now, the wheels start turning here. It says the suit, which includes denials by Jake's legal team of Youngblood's accusations that Jakes tried to groom and abuse him, was filed the day after Jakes was viewed at his Sunday service having an unspecified medical problem. Okay, so they already knew. This wasn't like you had the medical problem and then somebody is accusing you of something and you find out like the next day. No, he already knew. And the legal team were filing, let's see. Let me find it again. Okay, it was filed the day after Jakes had his problem, but it was already in the works. See, T.D. Jakes already knew. He already knew what this guy was saying. All right, so you're like, okay, trying to keep an open mind here. Okay, we're trying. In the midst of a prayer after preaching at the Potter's house, Jakes is seen lowering his mic and shaking in the chair where he was seated. That is true, but like I said, I did not hear the mic drop. I did see him put his mic down. About a dozen people ran to his side, and congregants stretched out their hands toward him as they began praying for him. Now, it says Jakes is an author, evangelist, and business executive. Let me tell you something. Jakes has a lot of money. Lot of money. And remember to remind me to tell you about Tyler Perry also. Um, okay, so this is an actual, let me move this down a little bit. This is an actual photograph. See, this is what he did. He has his mic in his hand, and you see his right hand. He just puts his face down like that, and his arm starts shaking, just that one arm, and then you see nothing else. They're running over to him. All right, so you don't know. And it says, at the conclusion of yesterday's service, after ministering for nearly an hour and a half, kind of sounds like J.P. Miller, but that's just, I'm not saying that he preached that long, but interesting things that you can do after preaching. Bishop Jakes experienced a moment that brought him face to face with his own humanity. He is doing well and remains under medical supervision. Okay, I'm glad. This right here, y'all. Medical professionals have ruled out a stroke, but continue testing. Yeah, because you know what? You got to come up with something, right? Jakes has got to come up with something after this. But it was not a stroke. It was not a stroke. So what's the arm shaking for? What was okay, when I heard it wasn't a stroke. If it was a stroke, I'd say, well, I didn't really see a whole lot of signs prior to him because he was talking so well. I didn't see anything, but you can benefit of the doubt. It could have hit really fast. But y'all, it wasn't a stroke. So was it you have to ask. I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying. This is me thinking. Was it a attention thing? Was it a sympathy thing? Was it staged? To gather all the congregation, get your attention back on praying for, Bishop because, he's at bad health and he had this incident. Let's all pray. Let's all come together as a unit instead of everybody looking around thinking, did he do it? Are we going to find out he was at the Diddy white parties participating, not just there, which I don't know why you'd be there to start with, but is this is this the red herring over here? Come on. You have to ask these questions. All right. Let me see what you're saying for just a second. I mean, he could be in bad health, no doubt. Who did she marry? I remember when she got married because it was like a news thing, but I can't remember who that was. That's what they're saying. Hey, digital, by the way. That is the rumor, y'all. That is the rumor. Well, I have to say allegedly, but it is being said a lot that Diddy may have tried to off Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx ended up in the hospital for what, like 30 days. It was it's a real thing. Let me see. That's another one that's come up as well with Ellen. I just watched a documentary. Well, it was a YouTube documentary, which in my opinion is probably more truthful because we are not hiding anything, right? We're not being paid by somebody to say something. Yeah. That was an interesting situation. And I can't remember the channel I was watching when they were talking about that. Yes, Mario. That is what they are saying. Apparently, Fox knew everything that was going on, just didn't think Diddy would do it to him. Y'all, if I had a penny for every time I heard somebody in a bad situation say, "Well, I never thought they'd do it to me." What, really? Really? If they will. That's the thing. If they've done it to you, they've done it to somebody else, they'll do it to you. Unless it's a very special situation, they'll do it to you. As soon as you do something they don't like, um, they will do whatever they do, whatever. Look, um, let's see. Yeah, exactly digital like Jamie Foxx's stroke. Yeah. Yeah, not Perry. Don't let me forget. I know. That's what I said. That's what I said. Yes, LA. Didn't John of God go down years ago and he was connected to Oprah? Sure did. Sure did. That was a whole mess, wasn't it? Um Interesting. Now I've never heard of this. Okay, let me take a moment here. Cyanide mimics pneumonia symptoms. Really? Cyanide mimics pneumonia symptoms. Diddy had a string of acquaintances that exhibited or expired with pneumonia like symptoms. Actually, they are saying, I've heard this. Now, I didn't realize that cyanide did that. I didn't know how they did this, but what is her name? The actress, Brittany Murphy. They are saying that Brittany Murphy, she had those pneumonia like symptoms. Her death was very sus because of her age and health and money. And you know what? After Brittany Murphy died mysteriously, it wasn't too long after that her husband also had the same symptoms. Y'all remember that? If you don't know who Brittany Murphy was, she was in a lot of different movies over the years, and she was starting to get a lot of exposure. Especially, she did. What was the name of the movie with Ashton Kutcher? Another one who was named. Forgot about him. Ashton Kutcher is named as being a major player, according to allegedly some of these people who are coming out and talking now. Brittany did the movie Just Married, I think is what it was. It was a cute little movie. I watched it a long time ago. Um, but apparently she had some kind of breakdown with Ashton. And then she's unalived or dies in strange circumstances. Um, Oh, see, look at I hadn't even seen that yet. Look, y'all are so good. I'm 5 minutes behind. That's why. Epstein was the worst we had seen, but he wasn't unaliving people that we know of. Samantha didn't. Brittany Murphy. Yeah, she exactly. See, y'all are so far ahead of me. Um, no, Linda Kay, it's not meant to be private. It was another one that I did. Look, go back when you get done with this live, Linda. Go back and look at the beginning of this one. Like, oh man, I didn't mean to go live tonight, but because I would have announced it and all that, and probably gone on earlier. Um, yes. Then there is this. I'm just gonna leave this out here again. Ellen's ex-wife Anne Heche. People just drop like flies sometimes, don't they? Um, let's see who. Hello, Vicky from Alaska. Good to see ya. Man, I hear Alaska's beautiful. I just can't. Like it's getting like in the 30s at night here, and I'm like literally about to die. Like I just hunker down and almost cry myself to sleep. It's cold. Yes, Brittany Murphy was also in 8 Mile. Yes, she was. Um, I didn't watch that, but I did know that. Yes, this is the whole thing. Oh, you're right. Hey, Pam Frenchman, you are right. Demi Moore has also been named. Ashton Kutcher has that trafficking association that he spoke before Congress about trafficking. What a crock. Yeah. That's what's crazy. That is what is crazy. I'm like, Ashton is involved in all this after all that big look, after all that big show. Oh my God. It is literally disgusting. Um Okay. So, back to TD Jakes though. Let me see. Now, here's the thing. I did listen to Duane Youngblood's information, okay? His interview, and look, it is believable, okay? It is believable. Now, this is what he says. He alleges in this YouTube interview, Youngblood describes himself as someone who is recently released from prison after violating his parole and as a person who was abused by other ministers. He alleged that as a teenager, he ended a long discussion with Jakes in a private home after Jakes had preached at the church of the homeowner. Now, when you listen to the interview, this makes a little bit more sense. But he's going out of the room and he says, when I started to walk past him, meaning Jakes, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me. Are you kidding me? Okay, that's not creepy. Like, even on the cheek. I mean, like, look, I mean, even on the cheek, it's a little bit weird for men in this country. Okay, in other countries, it's not, and I get that. But here, it is strange. Okay, so maybe he was just feeling confused and uncomfortable, and you have to wonder if this is somebody that you look up to, and you're young. You have to think, well, I know I would second guess myself now. I'd be like, did I misread that? Was it like maybe I'm just making stuff up? Maybe it's not what I think. Maybe I misunderstood that whole thing. You have to wonder, okay? But still, that happened. Now, he says Youngblood claimed Jakes called him the next day from a bathtub. I don't want to know if you're in the bathtub when I'm talking to you on the phone, okay? Let me just tell you that. So don't tell me. Or if you're on the toilet, I don't want to know. With a 3-point plan, okay? So Jakes calls him from the bathtub, which is creepy. Whatever. He says to me without any hesitation, quote, "There's 3 things I need you to do." Youngblood alleged on the October show that Jakes told him the first one is when I come to Pittsburgh, you're going to be the only person I sleep with. Say what? What? Okay, first of all, I don't know where he stands on all this, but I'm assuming that you're not okaying this kind of relationship just based on general Christianity. But my other question is like, you're a married man. You've been married forever. What do you mean? You're going to be the only person I sleep with. Excuse me? The second one is, you can't sleep with anybody else because I don't want to give my wife anything. Well, now isn't that nice and kind? What a great husband you are. And thirdly, I will take care of you the rest of your life. Yeah, you're going to have to because you're going to have to make sure he doesn't spill the beans, right? That is, I think the thing that is so believable to me about Youngblood is it's odd. He says, he says some odd things like, he started to walk past him and then he pulled him, that is an odd situation. If you're going to make up a story, it would probably be different than that. And then the things that he says, and you called him from a bathtub, that is a weird detail. These kind of things make me lean more towards, I think he could be telling the truth. Um, okay, but of course, Jake's lawsuit denies all Youngblood's accusations and makes a direct link between Jake's medical state and Youngblood's allegations, which Jake's suit calls false and defamatory, and as damaging and damning as anyone can make about a prominent pastor and spiritual leader. Hmm. Hmm. Well, now, I'm not saying that people don't falsely accuse, because they certainly do. Um, there have been a lot of cases that people have had false accusations, but you couple that with you're good friends with Diddy. All these people say that you have been in the Diddy parties, the white parties, and participating. Now this guy is saying, "Hey, he assaulted me all these years ago." Um, Now it doesn't go into their relationship or anything like that. What happened, the details of it, I did not see that in the interview. I didn't watch very much of it though. Honestly, I was like, bleh, bleh. I like, I've heard enough. Okay, I know what it's about. I've heard enough. Um. Anyway, so it's just they're saying that, it's malicious lies. And then the day before this action was filed, and they knew it was going to be filed, okay? It wasn't a surprise. He has this medical crisis on stage. Hmm. And it says Bishop Jakes believes with all his heart that actual victims of SA should be treated with the utmost respect, kindness, empathy, and sympathy, and that true perpetrators of such abuse should be held accountable for their actions. But that is not the case here. Also, Youngblood claims. Now, this says the suit says that the story changed because Youngblood said he might have been 17 when this happened. So this is a lot. He's 57 now. This is a lot of years ago, and this is how long that Bishop Jakes has been in, whatever. And then, but it says he said he could have been 17, but he could have actually, like on the show, he could have been like 18 or 19. All right, 17 is a problem because it's illegal. However, the problem doesn't go away just because you're 18 or 19. All right? All right, so they're saying that when he allegedly confronted Jakes years later and asked Jakes the reason for the alleged abuse, he says, quote, Bishop Jakes told me the reason that he did this and said this to me was because his stock was rising and he could have slept with anybody. Well, I guess so, because, all you have to do is sincerely repent, according to Jakes, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Well, that might hold true in God's eyes. The legal problems, not so much. They're not as forgiving as God. Okay, so now Jakes is seeking compensatory damages exceeding $75,000 because you have brought these allegations. But here is the thing. Also, I found this interesting. Jake is saying that all these allegations have put him in the center of it because it is all AI. It's misinformation caused by artificial intelligence. Well, I would just say this. You can blame it on whatever you want. If it's just an article, okay, whatever. AI, somebody, crazy person could have written it, not fact checked. But you have literal people who have been at these parties, Mr. Jakes, who say that you were there. Now, my question is this. All right, let's just say for the sake of argument that you want to, witness. You want to make sure that Sean Combs knows Jesus, okay? Let's just say that is your true motive here. Let me ask you this. Why do you think it's okay to go to a place that there's going to be it's illegal. Illegal substances. You're going to have, the alcohol and stuff. It's going to be a wild party. There's going to be substances there. You don't know what all. Let's say you didn't even know about the party favors, the underage people. Why would you go and hang out? Because if your mission is to get this guy's soul saved, wouldn't it be better done in a one-on-one conversation instead of you showing up to a wild party? What do you think is going to happen? What are you going to do? Split the pool? You're gonna divide that like Moses split the Red Sea and say, "Oh, look, it's a miracle." Everybody, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have the audacity to think that we're so stupid that we think it's okay. It's okay to go to a Diddy party where all this is going on. That makes no sense to me. Sure, if you are concerned about his soul, sure, pray for him, befriend him, have lunch with him, have him over to dinner, hang out at the golf course, whatever it is you want to do. Not at a party where you can clearly see that there are underage people and you can clearly see there is all kind of essay going on. Because you're never going to convince me that that was just to save his soul. Nobody. No. All right, let me see what you're saying. I'm now way far behind. William Welsh, hello. Good to see you. Yes. I'm agreeing with a lot of stuff. Oh, well, she doesn't know. Bye, Pam. She had company. Oh, yeah. Let me catch up. Maybe these Reverend dollars are all bad behind the scenes. I will tell you something. Does money change? Does money change you? Yeah, I think it does. I really do. I think it does. I think a lot of people who started out maybe sincerely have a completely different motivation now. I sure do. Let me change this. Aw. Well, Pam, I don't know if you're still here. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's sweet. That's sweet. And now she's not going to hear me. I'll email her. Is Youngblood his real name or his street name? I don't know. I think it's his real name. I have known some Youngbloods. When I lived in Virginia, there were Youngbloods up there, so it is a name. Whether it is his, I got no idea. Wonder how many. Linda Gay says, "I wonder how many of them are FMs." If you know, you know. Yeah. Well, probably a lot. He was going to pray away the social diseases. I'm sorry, I had to snort on that one. Samantha, you killed me. You just do. Oh my God. Yeah. So, All right. So, what do y'all think? I mean, do you think oh, let me see. What is digital saying? Diddy has his freak off, Delphi has his freak on channel. Yeah, oh my god. Oh my god. The ridiculousness. The ridiculousness. But yeah, that's what makes me mad. That's what heats me up is I don't know whether these allegations are true. I would think after if it happened when he was around 17, give or take. He's 57 now. That's a lot of years. That is a lot of years to carry something. And he said he's mentioned it to him in the past, and that was the answer he's gotten. Now, normally I would say maybe it's maybe it's just made up, whatever. But look at what we have seen in 2024. You've seen Robert Morris. You've seen IHOP, International House of Prayer, Mike Bickle. You've seen so many others. My gosh, I've covered a lot, and there's a lot I haven't covered because there's just so many. There's so many mega churches and pastors. Sorry, I've got fuzz all of a sudden. That have been, it's come out that they have been doing everything, stealing money from the churches. Of course, then you got the whole J.P. Miller, Micah Miller case. There has been so much abuse and misconduct that has been coming out this year, and I'm saying yay. Yay. I'm glad. I'm not sorry for it. I truly believe that this is God judging the church first, and he said he would. So there you go. There's that. Oh my gosh, Brandon Rhodes is back on it. Y'all, if you see that Brandon's obsession with evil CJ, just ignore him. That is not evil CJ. But I think somebody's got a crush. I do, Brandon. I think you're just crushing on CJ. Why don't you go over on his channel and troll him? Tell him you love him. Yeah. Go tell him. Anyway, yes. Clive Davis was just as bad as Diddy. Never did time. I've heard stuff about that too. Taught Diddy everything he knew. That's what they say. That's the thing, though. When they start bringing this, I mean, they're bringing up a lot of big names. Okay, and you can't, you can't say that Oprah is completely out of the question because she has been seen and supported Diddy as Ellen has, as a lot of them have. And strangely enough, this time they try to say, oh, it's because Trump won the election. But you didn't leave last time. But what you are doing is getting the heck out of Dodge before Trump releases the list or before they can put you under arrest, right? Because they'll do an extradition. That's much harder. So, yeah, it's craziness. Hello, woman. How you doing? Good to see ya. Yeah, so there you go. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Okay, like I said, I did listen to the part of the interview with Duane Youngblood that he did talking about his relationship with Jake's, and he it seemed fairly credible. But let me ask you this. How many of you think, well, all right, do you think that the whole church breakdown, the whatever that wasn't a stroke, okay? They're still testing. Okay, so here's the thing you have to know. They said At first, they came out and said it's a stroke. Oh my God, that's horrible. Wow, horrible. It's stress. It's whatever, whatever. But then you turn around and you think about all of the allegations. But if he had a real medical problem, they would have a diagnosis, not just, oh, it wasn't a stroke, but we're still testing. How you still testing? What are you still testing? I mean, it wasn't a stroke, so what was it? Oh, that's where you get into, was it an act? I mean, uh, not to hate on people, but he looks like he could have some health problems just in general. But I'm just saying, how many times do you have to have these coincidences? Just when you really need the support of your church, because not only are you being implicated in P. Diddy's white parties, but now you have a guy coming out saying that you essayed him all these years ago, and then by the things that he said, you would assume that there have been a long line of other people, probably men, women, whatever. Um, hmm. The timing, you just you really need your church's support, don't you? Sure you do. Sure you do. How better to get it than to have a medical crisis? It is fortuitous. I mean, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Whatever. Whatever. Um, let's see. Yeah, that's another one. Digital. It again on this. Look, I watched it. I watched a an expose on Beyonce. Um, by the way, and they brought this up. I saw this in several videos. Because I don't keep up with people like the stars, the whatever, I just don't. Okay, I really never have. Every once in a while, I hear a song that I like, and I like that song. Do I know anything about the artist? No, I don't. I really don't. I certainly don't keep up with them, and I'm not a fan of anybody's. Like, really, I'm not. I appreciate some good music, but probably nobody modern. Okay. um, so I didn't know this, but apparently, um, whenever Beyonce starts a world tour, somebody in the music industry dies. Whitney Houston. And they were naming which tours she was on, which tours she started when these different artists passed away. She had Whitney Houston, then Michael Jackson, and the list goes on and on. And it's like whenever Beyonce tours, somebody major is going to pass away. Hmm. Hmm. That is a little bit odd. Maybe she shouldn't tour anymore. Mario says, talking about Jake's, I think it's a reason to step back. What are you doing? Okay. I think it's a reason to step back and not be in front of a church. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, not only you shouldn't, you biblically can't. If you have done such as that, you are no longer able to pastor, which I've said a ton of times in my videos about Robert Morris and some of the other low life people who have stood behind a pulpit for years. Again, I'm not dissing on Christianity at all, at all. I am. You calling a spade a spade. These people are not real. They're not real. They're in it for whatever reason. Money, fame, I don't know. Probably money is the biggest motivation. And, having people come to see you. It's a, ego, whatever. Um, let's see. Oh, I'm glad you said this. The reader guy Tyler said Whitney passed with heart problems. Um, okay. Look, let's talk about Tyler Perry for a second. Y'all, this really hurt my heart because I love Tyler Perry. I do. That is, you know, this is the closest thing to me being a fan of somebody. I have loved all the Medea stuff. He's had some decent movies that he's produced as well. Okay, so Tyler Perry is also no. Sorry, I'm sliding around here in my chair. Tyler Perry has been connected to P Diddy and the parties. I'm sorry to break y'all's heart. It did mine. Now you can look this up on YouTube too, or maybe even TD Jake's church, which is called the Potter's House, by the way. There is a time when Tyler Perry comes to Jake's church, okay? And Tyler is up on stage and Bishop is back there. And Tyler makes this big production about, he tells Jakes, I am going to donate $1 million to your ministry. Okay, first of all, Jakes really has a huge ministry. It's not like, he's in dire need. But it's a weird thing because then Tyler lays hands on Bishop Jakes and Bishop Jakes is falling out and you got this big old show going on. Now, here is the conspiracy to that. A lot of people said that some of this money is either laundered through or a payoff to. So if TD Jakes was there at the white party and was privy to some of the things that Tyler Perry was doing, they're like, either it was laundering or it was a payoff for some reason to Jakes. All right. Interesting. Because it really was a big production. Okay, this was like him publicly saying, maybe he's saying, I've got you, you've got me, I don't tell, you don't tell, how they do that. Very interesting. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying that is allegedly, but Tyler Perry's name has come up a lot, and that is, like I said, heartbreaking to me because I think he is so very talented. And I'm like, well, there's another one. There's another person that you can't believe anything. Can't believe Ashton Kutcher. You can't believe Tyler Perry. You can't believe TD Jakes. Like, what? Let me just, what? Just going to go. And this is why I sit behind this microphone and have nothing to do with stuff like that, okay? I don't even want to see it. I talk about it because it makes me angry. Yeah, comedians do the same thing. Sam Kinison was an evangelist first. That's true, and that was the saddest thing I ever saw. I know, Dark Arts. I love Tyler Perry too. I do. It's heartbreaking. Hello, Jennifer Burnett. Just became a member. Well, good. Welcome aboard. Well, welcome to all of you, subscribers, members, but thank you so much. I'm going to be doing some more members only stuff probably because just like Delphi, it gets a little dangerous to say stuff on the old tube, okay? Not that it's ever stopped me before, but it is what it is. A lot of people, can y'all hear my stomach rumbling? I haven't had much to eat today. And had I known I was going to go live, I would have eaten something first. Digital, I believe she and hers are worshipers. Yeah, that is definitely, if you were, again, all these interviews, like, look, lots of YouTube interviews that people need to see. One was with with Beyonce's, some kind of assistant. I don't know if she was like just a personal assistant or she had something to do with wardrobe stylist. I don't know what she was. I can't remember. But she was talking in the interview about witchcraft. And the interviewer says, "Oh, so is Beyonce a witch?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, everybody knows that. She does rituals all the time." The the allegations or the allegedly is Beyonce does rituals when she goes on these tours, and this is the dark sacrifice of somebody else who she feels could be, outshine her, I guess. Um Certainly in my opinion, Whitney Houston, I mean, you can personally whatever she was like, I don't know, I don't care. Same with Michael Jackson. Um I don't know what their personal life was really like, but I can tell you one thing. I think both of those are way more talented than Beyonce. That's just my opinion. Some people don't feel like that. Whitney had an incredible voice. Michael Jackson was just like, he was just so original. I guess that's the thing. So I'm not saying what he didn't do, whatever. Was he extremely talented? Yes. Um, let's see. Beyonce doesn't dance; she tweaks. It could be, could very much be. Um, let's see. We weren't meant to idolize humans. That's true. That is so true. And the thing of it is in the church world, people forget that, and they start to think that they're pastors and they're these people who are in on TV, whatever. They tend to think for some reason that they are way up here above, and they put them on this pedestal, and then of course they fall because they're human, because they're no different than you and me, only they can do far more damage. um Silky, you've got those photos of Jay-Z and Bay doing those symbols. Yes, I think you sent those to me. Yeah, I have heard a little bit, like some rumors. Demi Moore was one, and even Angelina Jolie has been named. I don't know about the Diddy parties, but definitely having to do with some stuff. Ashton was with Mila Kunis when she was 14. Really? Was she that young? Were they was How old was he? Like, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying, how old was he at the time? Um Beyonce says Mario says Beyonce does what Jay-Z and Diddy tell her. I mean, uh that is probably true. Um yeah, and Aaliyah was also unalived, Mario, so yeah, there's that. Yes, y'all, sometimes I should just make a playlist of stuff that I've watched and that I think you might be interested in. We should talk about it. In this YouTube documentary. This was one of the things they were talking about. Remember, Adele looked terrified when she won an award and said Bay should have it. Yeah, yeah. And this is the conspiracy theory. So as long as we're throwing theories out here, um, they okay. Everybody, and this is odd. Okay, I have to say this is the oddest thing I have ever seen in my life. All these people win Grammys. All right, they're in even different categories. They're not pop. They're in. Everybody is paying homage to Beyonce and saying, like, somewhere in this acceptance speech. I mean, Adele did it. Taylor, well, not Taylor Swift. Adele did it. Um, what's her name? Oh my gosh, Britney Spears did it. And they had several other people showing them that they did the same thing when they win the award, but they're all saying that Beyonce deserved this or that Beyonce was better or something. It's like, what? I mean, if I'm going to win an award, for something like that. I'm going to thank my family, my producers, whatever, the people who wrote the songs. Not another artist. What they got to do with it? Nothing. Why are you up here thanking Beyonce? And it is bizarre. So here is the theory. All right, they said that y'all will remember this years ago because it was such a scandal. They said that Taylor Swift was supposed to basically say Beyonce should have gotten this award when she got her award, or else she was going to be severely punished, cut off, whatever, career stop. Maybe she, has an accident like you do in Carroll County, those kind of accidents, whatever. And they say that Kanye knew that, and that the reason that Kanye got up and did this whole crazy thing is because he knew that Taylor was not going to bend. And she was saying, no, I'm not going to get up there and say that. And that he took the microphone and he did this whole thing saying Beyonce had the best video of the year, And, remember, we all were standing there, sitting there like, what? And Taylor's looking the same way, like, what the heck? But they said that Kanye put his neck out there for Taylor Swift because he knew that something terrible was going to happen if she didn't follow the rules. Now, I don't know if that's true. All right. That is the internet conspiracy theory. And I have to say, well, we've seen the way that a lot of these things go, right? Is it out of the realm of possibility? No. Oh, okay. So Mila got her first kiss at 14 on camera by Ashton, who had a bet to French kiss her. Well, look, that is disturbing, okay? It's disturbing. But what is more disturbing to me about Ashton is that you're going to get up and you're going to testify before Congress about moving of children illegally. You know what I'm talking about. You're going to talk about that and have a foundation or organization that's supposed to stop this. And then you're going to go to a Diddy party? Not just once? Oh, come on. Come on. And actually, if you go and you look at their relationship for years past, they've been friends for a very long time. Very long. Well, how better to hide what you're doing than have an anti-trafficking foundation. You help these people. We're coming to gather these kids and rescue them. What better way? I'm just saying. Diddy's dad was unalived. Yes. There's a lot of talk about sacrifices that have to be made for fame. Go look down that rabbit hole. Scary. Jennifer says, I believe that there will be a judgment, and those that stand behind a pulpit will be held to a higher standard by the Lord. Not for any amount of money would I be in these people's shoes at that time. Hey, you got that right. You got that right. 100%. Me either. I agree. I agree. Yes, and he was with, yeah. Look, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. This whole P Diddy nonsense, and then let's just top it off with Biden. And I'm not going to read the article. I'm just going to say this. I think it's a firearms thing because he already had a felony record. And, he spent all this money. Biden said in the very beginning when he became president, I'm not getting involved in Hunter's stuff. He's going to have to face that on his own. But the last thing that he did today, as a matter of fact, is he signed the pardon for his son. Does that surprise anybody? No, it doesn't. What is not being talked about? Like, look, he's a criminal. He's got firearms charges. Like he was a very much an abuser of substances. That is all well known. Have y'all seen the pictures? Have you seen the pictures of Biden with very young children? I'm just saying. That is what I wish he was being prosecuted for or whatever. Wouldn't matter now he's being pardoned, but there's all those weird shady deals with the Ukraine and the uranium and all that stuff and all the money. Oh my God. I can't even. But anyway, he's been pardoned, so there you go. No, digital. I have not seen that. Have you seen the clip where Kelly Clarkson starts saying she's been offered outrageous money to do stuff, and Kevin Hart panics and holds his finger up over his lip? No, no, I have not. Wow. Yes, Hiawatha. Hello, Hiawatha. Where you been? We're not conspiracy theorists. We're alternative thinkers. 100%. 100%. I will look. I'm not even afraid anymore to call myself a conspiracy theorist. Although I don't look at it that way. I am a realist. I'm an alternative, out of the box thinker. Show me the evidence. Show me the evidence. You want to convince me of something? Show me. Show me. I'll listen. And if it's valid, I'm going to believe it. Back in 2011, I went through a period of time when I was married, and there was it was a company thing where I was part-time and not full-time, and they let me go because they had hired a full-time person. I didn't want full-time. So I lost my job in 2011. And for about a year and a half, I stayed home. My kids were small, or one of them was small at that time. And so, outside of all the regular wifey things that I did, I didn't watch TV. I don't know. I don't know. Back in those days, YouTube was like the Wild West. I mean, it's still kind of a little bit crazy, but back then it was just like whatever. Like you could say, do anything. It was craziness. And I watched one video, and I started down a rabbit hole. And then I got on one rabbit hole, and that led to them talking about something else. And I'm like, wait, I don't know about that. Let me see what that's about. So I was down like 15 rabbit holes at one time. And after I saw all of that, the way I saw everything, what I understood about the world completely changed when I saw all the evidence of things that I would have said, oh, that can't be true. The government would never allow that. And you find out, it's by the government, hon. That's who's doing it. Or somebody, if it's not direct government, it's an agency, a three-letter agency that has been given wild reign to do whatever. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am an alternative thinker as well. Ninja Warrior says, don't worry, it's not over with Hunter. I hope not. I hope not. There is too much going on about, again, I don't like the firearms, the fact that you had charges of substances. I'm not saying, I don't really care. I don't yeah, you should be prosecuted for breaking the law, but that doesn't keep me up at night. It's the pictures. It's the pictures. Because I've seen them over and over and different variations of the same thing. and it sickens me and it horrifies me and it makes me think you should be rotting somewhere. Okay? That's just whew. Buckeye, hello. Biden always wanted Bo to be president after him. Since Bo is dead, he has to pave the way for Hunter to be pres so they can keep the gravy train going. I hope to God people's brains don't fall out of their head enough to ever vote for that man. I bet, I've said that about others that have gotten in office. So there you go. Samantha, has anybody seen the video called It's All a Rich Man's Tricks? Very eye opening. I wonder, I might have, it seems like I might have bookmarked that to watch later because that came up in something that I was watching over the last few days. Um, I was like, I don't know that they said watch it, watch it, watch it. All right, it is almost 10 o'clock. I know y'all have to get up and go to work tomorrow. I don't have to go to work early, but I assume I'll be on tomorrow. I don't know. I talked about everything except Delphi. And I don't know if y'all want to talk about that or not. If I'm not on tomorrow, I'll be on Tuesday. But hey, it was fun. I was completely unprepared, no thumbnail, no nothing. If you were the first 18 people that saw me earlier where I thought I was recording a video and then I just shut it off, like, yeah, go back to the beginning of this. And I'm just all tore up. I cannot believe I did that. But I'm glad I wasn't doing something. Because, y'all, sometimes in front of the camera, like, I'll do things like before I get on a live, like just to get my mindset, or especially before I shoot a video. Not so much live because I'm already animated, but sometimes I've been researching and then I'm like, I'm gonna sit down and do a video. I just need to say stupid things, get some energy going because I've got to shoot a video and I haven't been talking to anybody, so I'm kind of flat. And I mean, I talk to myself. Like, I will say the stupidest things to myself while I'm like, just, y'all. So, whatever. I'm going to try not to make that mistake again. But I will see you soon. No bunny shots. Yeah. If you know, you know. If you're a member, you know. If you've been a member for a while, you know. Is Snay going on tonight? If you're going to the kitchen, tell Rick Snay it's time to start live now. All right, y'all have a great evening. I will see you soon. Stay safe out there. Let me know what you want to talk about. What's grinding your gears besides Delphi? That's never off the table. What's grinding your gears? Put a comment below. I love you, replay crew. I love you, live chat people. Whatever you do, stay silky. Bye-bye.